Mission is over. Kirill,
А пусть бы и
contact
разжаловали, мне
HQ.
похрен. Среди людей зато.
Roger.
Они здесь, в зоне этой проклятой.
HQ on the line.
Учтена каждая мелочь, мать их штабные. Это считается хорошая подготовка, когда из 10 только один выживает. Черт! Да мы даже в бой не вступили.
Because of the E-mission, it's impossible to establish comms during one.
Okay. All right, listen up. Operation Fairway is being taken over by the USS.
Страховка?
Is
Да на
Major
кой хрен
Dictator there?
сдалась тебе эта страховка, когда их хранить
Yes.
не будет чего? Родичам,
Okay.
что пробухали,
He's in
да?
command from now on.
Лучше бы на
Tell
руки
him to
сразу
stay put.
выдавали.
To be contacted by his superiors shortly.
Roger.
Major, do you read me?
Major Degtyarev here. I read you.
Good. As of this moment, you are responsible for completing Operation Fairway. Kowalski and the Stingray squad will assist you. Report.
Эх,
I've managed to acquire documents about experiments carried out in the zone. Furthermore, we've been contacted by a stalker who's been in the CNPP. His name is Strelak, and he's offered us his cooperation.
Учтена каждая
Roger.
мелочь,
Accept
мать
his
их
offer.
штабные.
You know what
Это
caused our
считается
helicopters to
хорошая
crash?
подготовка, когда из 10 только один
Yes,
выживает.
I have the data,
Черт!
and Strelak's
Да мы даже
information
в бой не
confirms it.
вступили.
The helicopters were hit by anomalies after their locations changed during the emission. The anomaly map issued to the pilots turned out to be useless.
Страховка? Да на кой хрен у нас сдалась тебе эта страховка, когда их хранить не будет чего?
Will be collected together
Родичам,
with the
что пробухали,
stalker from
да?
position
Лучше бы на
B28.
руки сразу
Stingray
выдавали.
squad will be evacuated with you. The birds are already in the air. Over and out.
You heard the news, fellas. When we go, stick together and keep the stalker alive. Any questions? Get ready to move. Major, can I have a word?
Главное не трепеть. Не трепеть, да. Тогда все живыми отсюда выберемся. Умники, ёпты! Страховка? Да на кой хрен у нас дала тебе эта страховка, когда их хранить не будет чего? Родичам, что пробухали, да? Лучше бы на руку сразу выдавали.
We'll have plenty of time to talk later. We need to make sure we have enough ammo.
Would you look at that? The sons of bitches actually made it. You were right, Strelok.
Zombies.
Порвем их! Всех до единого! Получай!
There's about a dozen zombies in the building.
Move to the left and cover each other. Every zombie in Pripyat is going to know we're coming. We've got to move faster. Run!
More
Красы! Влепил, скотине! Так тебе!
Through the arch!
Влепил, скотине!
We're on the way.
Our orders are to take off if we come under attack, so hurry the hell up!
Roger that. We'll be there soon. Stay alert and follow orders. We're real close to the evacuation point. Let's move! There's no time. Check your weapons and fire at will.
What was that? It's here! Huh? Okay, run!
Major Detailer, if we're taking heavy fire from an unidentified enemy, we cannot hold out for long.
Get ready, men! Shit! It's monolith fighters. Fire at will and keep moving toward the choppers. Come on, boys! One last push!
to Dictator. We're ready to go.
Get in that chopper. I hope it was worth it.
Валер, Морозков!
As a reward for successfully completing his investigation, Diktarov was offered a promotion to colonel and the position of mission coordinator. He declined the opportunity to work at the HQ and submitted a personal request to be sent to the zone as the USS Permanent Observer. The information about the development of psi devices obtained by Diktarov alerted USS commanders. All the information gathered on X-designated laboratories was removed from military archives and filed as top secret. All personnel working in the zone were ordered to prevent the disclosure of information about the laboratories at any cost. Several experimental samples were made on the basis of technical documents for Item 62. Following a set of test trials, it was decided not to go ahead with large-scale deployment of the weapon due to the high cost of ammunition. Nonetheless, it would be reasonable to assume that further development of the Gauss rifle is ongoing. Sultan and his gang left the Skadovsk to do their shady business elsewhere after their attempts to capture the ship failed. The ensuing feeling of relative safety among stalkers led to a massive increase in the number of artifacts sold to Beard, causing his business to boom, while the formerly quiet Skadovsk bar became as popular as the famous 100 Rods bar, despite being almost in the center of the zone. Following the destruction of the Bloodsucker lair, it's unlikely that anything could significantly change the state of affairs on the Skadovsk. The old ship became a temporary center of stability in the ever-changing world that is the zone. A fragile balance was reached between freedom and duty squads at Yanov Station. Tired of the endless struggle, fighters of both factions started leaving their squads and joining the Free Stalkers. The scientific expedition, organized by Professors Herman and Ozersky, was a success. The data they collected facilitated the development of groundbreaking medicine and technology, which prompted the Ministry of Education to allocate additional funding for researching the zone. Gary's stories about the Army's fate scared stalkers away from Pripyat. The few who dared to venture into the city ran into inexplicable phenomena, which added further dark strokes to an already gloomy picture of the dead city. The legend of the Oasis stopped being a legend. The identity of those who managed to find a way to the secret anomaly became an increasingly regular topic of conversation among stalkers. Despite this, the number of adventurers trying to find it remained high, something the bandits were quick to take advantage of, with constant offers to lead stalkers to the Oasis, which usually ended in muggings at a safe distance from stalker camps. Organized mercenary squads continue to be active in the zone. Their interest in the secret laboratories is becoming increasingly difficult for USS operatives to ignore. Attempts to establish the identity of the client who hired the mercenaries proved unsuccessful. The area around Yanov Station continues to attract growing numbers of stalkers. The lack of dangerous mutants and abundance of anomalous areas have led to the area being referred to as a treasure trove with increasing regularity. Zulu returned to duty's main base at the Rostock plant. Nobody knows what he discussed with the leader of duty, General Voronin, but several days later he was spotted at the head of a large squad on its way to the center of the zone. Vano headed off to the freedom-controlled military warehouses, where his cheerful personality and optimism quickly earned him the popularity they merited. Ultimately, he took charge of a small group of researchers involved in investigating anomalous areas. A new group appeared in the zone. They are well trained, but their objectives are not known. Rumors say they used to be monolith fighters. Their leader is known as Strider. Senior Lieutenant Sokolov continued to take part in flying missions over the zone. During one such recon flight over Limansk, his aircraft was shot down by mercenaries. 2 weeks later, he was picked up by a patrol near the cordon. Within a month of his rescue, Sokolov had left the Air Force, joining a civil airline instead. A group of stalkers was forced to seek shelter on Noah's old barge during a particularly powerful emission. When the barge was attacked by a horde of snorks afterwards, stalkers were forced to concede that the barge was as good a defense against mutants as anything they'd seen. Even more astonishing was a litter of pseudo-dog puppies that Noah himself led into battle against the snorks. Having found out about his friend's fates, Carden gave up dreams of a stalker career. Having overcome his alcoholism, he moved to Yanov, where he partnered up with Nitro to set up a full-service repair shop. Both technicians gladly devote all their spare time to building a vehicle that could operate in the zone. Strelok passed on the information he obtained on his trip to the Chernobyl NPP to the USS commanders. This prompted the government to create a scientific institute for research of the Chernobyl anomalous area. Strelok took up the position of chief scientific consultant to the institute. When Colonel Kowalski, commander of the Stingray Group, returned from the zone, he was forced to explain the reasons for the failure of Operation Fairway. Following a dragged-out investigation and the brass's failed attempt to make him the fall guy, the colonel was finally given an honorable discharge.
Взрывая мгновенье через сотни лет, мы растаем в пыли своих надежд, оставляя поколениям горький след. И в памяти лица близких нам людей, праздник красных флагов, звонкий смех детей. Все исчезло, остались слезы среди камней. Растворяя осколки грез, горят